Hi everyone. So I just detected a bug on Instagram. Basically, with one image, the image can be resized to reveal the whole image. And it's basically 11:55 p.m. It's Thursday, December 30th, 2021. As a matter of fact, I believe it's about to be 2022, the year 2022, in a few minutes. But anyhow, I detected a bug on Instagram when posting a post because I attempted to upload multiple images, but all the images are large images, and Instagram, once a user selects multiple images to upload at once, it won't fill the space to reveal the whole image. So it's draggable. You can position it wherever you want, but it doesn't display everything. But if a user uploads one image by itself, then if the image is large, you're able to resize it so it could reveal the whole thing. Especially if it's like larger in length vertically, or if it's large in width. So it just won't respond for some reason. So obviously that's an easy fix for people who are coders, but little things like that, it just irritate me, honestly. And too bad for myself, I'm not a coder. I do not know how to code, or else I would come up with a solution for that. But I'm sure there's already a solution. They just probably haven't noticed it. And well, anyways, it technically prevented me at the moment to upload those images and to also create my post and for me to write something in the description regarding those images. And it's not even, honestly, it's not even like my personal images or what random people are posting out there. Like the average person, it's basically statistics of how people are dying every single year. And there's like natural causes, terrorism, drowning, and a bunch of others. Cancer, cardiovascular diseases is one of the top ones. But anyways, I just wanted to upload that to just briefly talk about how people are dying naturally. And that's not even like violence from people who want to, gangbang and stuff like that. People who carry a weapon and they're just going around killing people for whatever reason, just because they feel like they should die, just because they don't listen to a direct order or something like that. It's like if the president of the United States gets super drunk and goes outside and acts a fool, and police officers don't recognize him as the president of the United States in whichever year. So not really specifying which president it might be, because 10 years from now, it's going to be a whole different president. The longest I heard a president can become a president or be a president is 8 years. But that doesn't mean that the president can't be in office, obviously, right? But going back to my story, so like if, the person goes outside and the police officers are like, put your hands where we can see them. But then, the person reaches in his or her pocket, maybe to get a ID to show these guys that he's not a criminal. But the police officers shoot him down because whichever it might be, because the person decided to pull out a black object that appeared to be a weapon. So that's what we get, right? That's what people get for not obeying direct orders, right? See how stupid life is? And how we're not really addressing certain situations the proper way? If anything, they should just be neutralized. Like, meaning they should be put to sleep with a dart. Something that might appear like a bullet, but in reality is not a bullet. Just to put the person in, like kind of like a taser. Just to temporarily neutralize the person. So they can basically, so they can have control over the situation, whatever the situation might be. And even like when people are having riots and stuff like that, and police officers obviously can't shoot their weapons at people. But if somehow they had some form of electricity or anesthesia, something to put them to sleep, then they'll be able to control the whole situation. And put everyone, like somewhere, or just get a facial recognition of everyone. I don't know. But we need to really think about who our real enemy is. And obviously, like the Bible says, it says, Jesus said, we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against spiritual forces. Things that we might not even think are a threat to us. Just like the story that I just shared, the police officers, shoot someone just because they're not obeying a direct order. or direct orders, right? But that shouldn't be enough reason to put someone to to send to kill someone. That shouldn't be the case. So anyways, I just wanted to you know post that image on Instagram and talk about a little bit about this stuff that I'm talking about now, because it's sad. It's really sad. Especially for the government, you know, for people to allow other people to stay ignorant and to not do anything productive for the greater good of humanity. And to tackle these, basically to tackle these problems that are killing us humans. It just shows, respectfully, it shows how uneducated we really are. But obviously there has been improvements which save lives. So that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. Like, yes, it might not save everyone, and by the time we come up with a solution, it might be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. But there's steady progression, right? But we have the right to be angry at people who are not contributing or making a difference. And that's why I believe that everyone in the world should have a personal profile, a digital profile, basically like the California ID, but for every person in every single state, in every single country, and for all the information to be stored, obviously in the space station, in space, in heaven, outside of Earth, because it's sensitive information. And it's not to hurt each other as humans, and it's not something for us to fight over. It's just so we can learn from each other's mistakes and to correct them from this point on. If someone is hungry, they shouldn't have to go steal. If someone can't pay their electricity bill and they can't pay for their house or whatever the case may be, they shouldn't be thrown out. I think everyone, especially if they're respectful and clean, then a space should be created for them. Right? It's all about education. And I'm not even really getting into that in its entirety, but that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. So there's so much more for us to do here on Earth. There's so many other industries that I have no knowledge of. And there's a lot of people out there who have potential, who are very smart, intelligent. And, well, I believe with the internet, we can help each other even more. For instance, there is oh my god, there's so much involved. So many things to talk about. But another thing that kills people is when people get jealous of other people, right? So like someone has a girlfriend, she cheats on the guy, and then the guy wants to go get vengeance or retaliations, that type of thing. And then the same thing with the woman. Women are the same. So like, how can we correct this problem? I think one way to correct it is like with Tesla, the company, because they're creating human-like robots. So, people might laugh at the idea of human robots, but at the end of the day, people have the same sensations, I mean, it's different when that is out of the picture and the couple goes out and enjoys their time together as a couple companion, that they share that companionship and they're suitable partners and they do everything together, they eat together and stuff like that. So that is more how human life should be. Just people getting along and obviously they're happy. People should be happy and enjoying themselves as much as possible. But when people start killing each other over any reason, that's when there's an issue. Or when people are fighting other people for no reason. So with the internet, I believe that we will be able to filter out the differences. We'll be able to filter people accordingly, more professionally. people who are tame, cool tempered, and smart, it's like there's no worry. And occasionally bad things happen, you know? But, you know, there's obviously a place for everything in this life. Everything is basically is organization, organize organizing everything and putting everything in its place. At the end of the day, that's what what these filters will technically do and are doing. Um, because you know, when people are dying, that's when people start taking their jobs seriously. It's just like it's not even, you know, people who are in the military who take their job seriously. It could be anyone. Like for instance, I'll share a few examples, but for instance, people back in the day crashing and dying because their heads were hitting the steering wheel or other parts of the vehicle or vehicles, and so they created airbags. They took it very seriously. Another one right now that's current, or that has been current for a long time, is cell phones. People texting and driving. And there's warnings everywhere, you know, to put the phone down at all costs while driving, but people still reach for that phone, unfortunately. So, you know, people are dying, so people who are in that industry are taking their jobs very seriously so they could prevent that from happening. And there has been much more progression, obviously. So that's why I take the internet very seriously, because we all think differently and we have the right to. But at the end of the day, we can cut all the bullshit. We could, it's like refining gold. I never really seen it, but there's YouTube videos on how they refine gold. And what I heard when I was a kid is they heat it up to a certain temperature. And then at the very top, there's like something that starts with a G. I think it's the gross or the gross or something. Like the impurities. And basically what they do, like imagine the gold getting refined in a pan. And they just get a stick, like a metal stick, and they're able to remove that top layer of impurities, and they can keep on adding more and more gold in there until they have nothing but pure gold. So with the internet, with filters, with, you know, with AI, we can do exactly what I'm talking about. So it doesn't matter who it might be. Every opinion, every statement, every comment, whether it's like verbally or not, something that's typed up on the computer, or someone types it with their fingers or with their thumbs or whatever, digitally, what other type of communication you could ever think of. All that is very important because we never know how it's going to impact us in the future. And obviously, we want that information to impact us in a positive way in the future. So, by disregarding any type of statements or any type of information online, that could be our downfall later on in the future. That could become someone's death sentence. So if we are not taking any of this seriously, it's like us as a human race saying, well, fuck the people that are dying. So how does that make us appear to the rest of the world? We're basically murderers in the eyes of the internet, of AI. If people are laughing, people are thinking this is a joke. Obviously it's not. And that's why I just wanted to share this information. And I believe in everyone. I really do. I believe in people, whether they're educated or not. Because some people are just smart in the ways that they do certain things, even if they don't ever talk about it. So there's a lot more to learn about each other, about humans, than we ever thought or imagined. And I don't know what motivates me to do what I do, but I believe one of the biggest factors for my life is that I want more. I want more that we have to offer to one another. Especially when it comes to technology and the current and latest type of inventions. I love that. And I also love it because, every year that passes by, some of those inventions obviously become outdated and they get passed down to people who can't really afford them. So, the more that we get serious with what I'm talking about, the more we will be able to impact each other Because, yeah, there might be people out there who have money and they laugh at people who don't have certain things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's ignorance when they laugh at people who don't have anything just because they're able to. But according to the statistics, and this is not a threat, it's a fact, that people are dying randomly, natural causes or accidents. Just Google it, how people are dying statistically around the world, and you'll see a list. Specify in list form, and that information will be revealed to you. So, don't make fun of people who don't have anything. Like, I'm here thinking about many things, many invention ideas. One of my other thoughts that I've been just thinking about is the way that the medical industry is packaging pills, medication, and a lot of you might think, well, how is that even important? What's very important, especially when it comes to NASA, and we are sending supplies to the space station, to the moon, because I don't doubt that we have colonized it already, if we're talking about colonizing Mars. But that's besides the point. My point is that everything has to be... Space is limited. So maximizing that limited space is very critical in missions like that. So, like, I was looking at my vitamin C bottle that I purchased through Amazon. It's made out of glass, which glass is super heavy. And then the little plastic capsules, which I believe is a great invention. But the way that it is stored, it is taking up way too much space. So I was thinking, how can we as a human race optimize that space? So I thought of like sugar packets. And basically they could be made out of some form of aluminum, like a wrapper, kind of like my bubble gum that I had in here. I know it's in here somewhere, but I can't find it right now. But it was here. I just don't know where it's at unless I get up and look for it. Like cookies. Some cookies are inside. They're wrapped in some form of aluminum foil of some type. So these are the vitamin C pills that I purchased. Vitamin C 1000 milligrams. That is not even important. What's important here is the cost of shipping this big old chunk of glass. Now, I could probably start a business and I could buy these pills. I don't know if the the companies who ship items create this type of stuff on purpose, so the cost of shipping can go up, but I can minimize the cost by placing each capsule inside of a sugar packet type of thing that is aluminum. And not only that, but they will be stored so compact, similar to Nestea or Lipton tea, the tea bags. There's like 4 rows, and there's like 25 in each row. 20, 50, 75, 100. And it comes in a box, like a soda box. Right? Like that. Just cardboard, which reduces the weight of the whole unit. So there's a lot of people drop shipping. There's a lot of people that live like in China. They want to send valuable items to the United States or vice versa. Well, this is like defeating the purpose here. This glass. It really is. Now, I love the container. I love it. It's beautiful. It keeps the moisture out. I mean, it's a great invention. But I just wanted to get that out of my mind.